I know, don't laugh at me. This is crazy, but this is what we're gonna do to make it work.
What's going up?
Welcome back to the Mod Garage YouTube channel. We are back in the shop working again. Today is Saturday, and we were in here Friday night and got this engine stuck in here and got the headers bolted on just for looks to see what that looks like. Got the engine hanging from a 4x4 and a chain because the transmission is not bolted on yet. Had the turbo in here for some mock-up just to see where it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be about perfect in location, but today I have in mind to get this transmission kind of bolted up in place and see where in the tunnel we're going to have to drill a hole for the new shifter. There is some disappointing news with this transmission. Trying to stay positive, but they sent me the wrong transmission. Positive. And I ordered the transmission for an LS1. It's supposed to be an LS1 T56, and they sent me the LT1 T56. I didn't realize this until I went to put this slave cylinder on, and it does not fit. So the LT1 uses a different style slave cylinder, which is external, and that's what this little cutout is for here. And they use an arm that pivots here and pulls out on the clutch. So this collar is where the pilot bearing rides on. The LS1 style uses the push slave cylinder, and their mid plate's different. It's got mounting holes for the 2 bolts on there, and a longer input shaft. So this is not going to work. Either I send this transmission back, return it, and get the right one, or it is possible to replace the mid plate and the input shaft. So if it costs just as much to ship this back to Texas as it would spending a couple $100s to replace these parts, I think I'll just replace these parts since I have the transmission. I do have to pay for the shipping. That's what the seller requires. So I'll try to get that figured out, but that should not affect what we're trying to do with today, with trying to get the transmission mounted in, figuring out where the mount is going to go on the frame. So we're going to get this truck up in the air. I wish I had a pit, but I don't, and I wish I had a right lift, but I don't have that either. So we're going to use the trailer shop jacks, which are over here, and this is a crazy overkill. These are 18,000 pound lifts. They're made for a big truck, but I think they'll actually work if my tire doesn't go through these little forks. I know, don't laugh at me. This is crazy, but this is what we're gonna do to make it work. Hey, it's working.
What's going up?
We got this thing up in here. Okay, now we're gonna see where in this tunnel this thing's gonna be, but I want to measure this, a couple things here yet to see if that transmission is gonna actually work for that. All right, we got this transmission jack from the bottom shop, and that too is definitely an overkill for what we're using it for, but we're making do with what we got. I think I can throw this thing up on by hand. It's not that heavy. Hope I don't break my back. Oh, wow. My goodness. Okay, maybe a little more than I could have. Ouch. Shifter location is going to be way back here. It's probably 16 inches back further than the original hole right up in there, if you can see it. So I'm going to take a measurement and then go up in the cab and see where that's at. Up the ladder. Ooh. Okay, I'll move the ladder. 14 inches. Move this out. Don't fall. It's dark in here. Dude, That's gonna be perfect. A little taller shifter. Yeah, it's perfect. So I was worried the shifter was gonna be too far back. The bench seat is gonna go. I'm not gonna keep the bench seat. But they do make relocation kits for the C10s where they have an extension. Siki makes it. It brings the shifter forward so you can keep the bench seat in, but then they kick it back so you can reach it. And yeah, it's too much like the one I used to have. So I'm gonna have a shifter coming straight up out of the transmission. That's gonna be so sweet. Which we're going with bucket seats, by the way. I'm not sure if I said that. Bucket seats are super cheap, so we're gonna ditch this bench seat and put some nice buckets in there. Yeah, 14 inches from the back of the hole to the center of the shifter puts us right in front of the seat, or right at the seat edge. So it's about like right behind your knee. So with my arm bent just a little bit, I'll be able to reach my shifter. It won't be too far back where my elbow get into the back wall. That's gonna be perfect. So nice. All right, got my transmission mount mocked up, and I got this big steel tube and 2 pieces of angle, a small one welded to there and a bigger one connected to the frame with the vice grip for now. It's because I don't know exactly where I'm gonna be yet. All right, about ready to pop this transmission back out again. So easy. Okay, time has come to cut the hole in the tunnel for the shifter. I'm gonna hack that open with the cutoff wheel. I did order the drive shaft since I measured it on Saturday when I was working on it last, and it is a long bed, so we have a really long drive shaft. It's about 73 3/16 inches long, so it is almost too long. There's a maximum speed of 135 miles an hour and RPM 5,600 maximum safe operating RPM. With a breaking point of 6,500 RPM. So won't be able to rev it up just terribly high, but I think I'll be all right at the 5,600 mark. And since the internals are still stock, I'm not too worried. 5,600 should give me plenty of room for the turbo to spool from about 3,500 up, something like that. So I got the drive shaft ordered. It's a 5-inch aluminum 1/4-inch wall or 3/16 wall, I forget. He didn't really say what thickness it is, but it's a 5-inch tube, aluminum tube with a 1350 style U-joint, which will go on the rear, and then a 27 spline slip yoke on the transmission. So good news on the transmission as well. We did ship that thing out. I packaged it up and sent it out. I will insert that video right here. Okay, everyone, great news for tonight. The transmission company that I bought this transmission from just gave me a shipping label just literally 5 or 10 minutes ago, and they are going to take it back and send me the right transmission. Good news is they're standing good for it because I ordered the LS1 transmission, and they provided a shipping label, and I went and trashed the shipping boxes that it came in, so I got to fab up my own box to ship it in, and find a UPS truck somewhere. Hopefully one comes by my house tomorrow night. But let's saw these boxes up and see if we can get this thing packaged up. packaged up. It's 90 pounds in there actually, so should be good. We got it. Finally got loaded up. Ready to ship to San Antonio, Texas. The thing I got in UPS delivery today, it's still in the back of my gator here. We have got our cold side plumbing. It's all 3-inch stuff. So that's the 93-inch. 93-inch. All the silicone boots, 3-inch, and I wanted them blue to match. There's band clamps. I got a couple of these, the U's. If I have to cut anything, make angles up. 45s. It's a whole kit. Aluminum, and there's 2 of each thing. So 2 90s, 2 hooks, and 2 whatever they call them, 45s. So I got the engine sitting in there. But one thing I might have to do, pull it out to put those, weld the bung return into the oil pan for the turbo drain. Forgot to do that, so it's just a matter of popping 2 bolts and lifting it out again. But I was working at putting my billet accessory drive on, and you can see I got started here. I had the water pump on, but here it's the wrong water pump. It's the truck water pump, and the outlet for the water comes in like right here, and the alternator actually does not even fit in its own bracket because of that. So I had to get, and I have it ordered, the 2010 Camaro SS water pump. That's off the 6.2 liter Chevy engine, and that has the water outlet coming about right here beside the alternator. So it's completely different than the truck water pump, and it looks the same down here as far as going to the heater core and the bottom of the radiator over here. So that's all cool. And as far as, oh yeah, the tensioner down there, that's the wrong tensioner. I got another one ordered, that. And the power steering pump, I had ordered one and then the company refunded me, I believe, so I'm gonna have to order another one. Intake's coming as well. I think that's coming tomorrow. That'll look really sweet sitting on top of there. Thanks to all of you subscribers, all 61 of you, for subscribing and tuning into the channel. It's exciting to see a project like this come together, and hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes and do your job way better than I'm doing mine. We're just gonna keep at it and keep getting this thing finished up. I think I have about all the parts. It's just a few little things here and there. All my major components are bought. It's just a matter of putting it together. Well, that's it for tonight. I'm rounding it up. Remember, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next video. Have a great night.